Explaining the discipline of individual time trialling is actually very, very simple. You start at point A, X kilometres later, you finish at point B. Whoever's quickest between those 2 points is the winner of the stage. However, there is an enormous amount of time and money spent on ensuring that your riders get from A to B as quickly as they can.
Yeah, you can see Clive here. Clive is basically on a road bike, as you can see. He needs to be comfortable on that bike. He's in the saddle for 5, 6, 7 hours, so he needs to be comfortable. Compare that to a time trial position, very, very different. We all know about power to weight ratios. Obviously, the lighter you are, the more power you can put down. You're going to go up the climb quicker, which ultimately every cyclist wants. In a time trial, it's measured in something called CDA. Now, CDA is how much power you can put down by how aero you are. And the gentleman here, Jonas Vingegaard, arguably one of the best time trial positions in the peloton.
Well, he wasn't too bad at last year's Tour de France in the individual time trial, was he? One of the things you'll notice here is that he's got what looks to be a chest fairing. That's one of the more recent developments, which apparently is a fair bit quicker. It's actually just a radio that normally used to be down the rider's back. They're now putting it on the chest because in wind tunnel testing, that allows you to go faster for any given power.
Yeah, it's basically like having a chest implant. I'd quite like that for my pecs, but yeah, you can't get it. Ultimately, you can imagine now, you can see on Remco here as well, he's got that chest fairing down the front. But when he's in that position with his arms tucked in on those aero bars, his head right down, you want minimum amount of wind hitting your chest. And if it does hit your chest, you want it in the smoothest way possible to flow off your body. That's why a lot of riders are putting this in. This is Theo Gegenhardt. Look at the size of his helmet. It is absolutely massive.
They do seem to have got bigger and bigger over the last few years, haven't they? And again, through wind tunnel testing, they have obviously decided that larger helmets generally work better. However, the extra complications, you can't take an individual helmet, put it in a wind tunnel and say that is the fastest for everybody. It's all the equipment and all the clothing combined on a particular rider's body shape that will allow them to go as quickly as possible. And it's not the same for everybody.
Yeah, the handlebars and everything that you use, they're 3D printed now as well. We could just see on the picture just behind us that Danny Martinez, all the handlebars, as I said, they're all 3D printed to that person's arm so that air flows past them quick enough. That's like the first point of contact for the air. So it's crucial, these guys, the front end of them is as quick, well, is as slippery as possible, let's say. So yeah, the time trial suits as well nowadays. I think Jake Ola, Simon Yates in the Giro d'Italia a few years ago, he had a time trial suit that was like €5,000 or
it wasn't cheap, was it?
No.
I seem to remember. You wouldn't want to crash in that. The other thing that riders and teams are now thinking a lot about is drivetrain efficiency. There's been a lot of talk about Tobias Foss today using a 68-tooth chainring. He's not going to be pushing 68 by 11 on the back, but they found out that having the chain over a bigger chainring at the front and a bigger cog at the back is more efficient. It might only be a couple of watts, but it could make the difference.
Anyway, yeah, it's going to cost you a lot of money if you want to go fast. It's difficult at TT, though, isn't it? Well, as we just spoke about with like positioning and aero and tech and all that kind of stuff now, you get the odd surprise in that normally, you know, like a strong guy will generally do quite well. But there's the odd surprise that's coming in now with all the tech, all the equipment, all the aero testing, where you're like, when did this person get so good at TT testing? But I'll get back to you. Exactly. Yeah.
Big opportunity.
Wish I had that when I was riding. That'd have been great.